Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, I hope you're all well. So, this is my Strymon BigSky. I absolutely love this pedal. And way back in the day, I believe it was 2013, I remember emailing Strymon probably once a week asking them if I could do some videos on this. I'd just started my YouTube channel. I was nobody in the world of YouTube. I was just desperate to check it out and make videos for it and try and, you know, create a relationship with Strymon. And it took probably 4 or 5 weeks of emailing until I got a reply. And the guys at Strymon were like, yeah, we'll send you one, probably to shut me up. That's when I did a video on every single reverb type in this thing. Ever since then, I've had a relationship with Strymon in the sense that I've let them know how much I love their products, how much I love their pedals, and just I always shout about them. Whether it's when people ask me what pedal to recommend for reverb or delay or anything like that, I will always say Strymon. And you know, this isn't a sponsored video. I've not been paid to say this. This is something that this is my thing. I absolutely love Strymon. I think they do the best reverb and the best delay that you can get, in my opinion. Of course, it's my opinion. The reason I'm filming this video is because, believe it or not, and I couldn't believe it when I got the email from Strymon, that they've released a new BigSky. It's called the BigSky MX. Basically, it's an updated, modern version of this absolute beast, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it when I got the email. I was eagerly anticipating it arriving in the post. Rather than give you a rundown of everything that it does and all the sort of technical specifications, because there's going to be tons of channels doing that, and also Strymon do a very, very good job of communicating all the features that it does, taking you through it step by step. I just wanted to put it in my pedal board rig along next to my timeline, my Mobius and my gig rig stuff, and replace this, even though kind of bittersweet replacing this, and just have a listen, see what it does. First of all, the main differences, as far as I know, in terms of what it can do, is now you can spit one reverb out of one output and one out of another, which some of you might say, well, there's other pedals that have been doing that for ages, but it's not a Strymon pedal that can do that. Now it can, and that's what I'm excited about, because I can send a whole reverb out of output A and a plate reverb out of output B, or a spring and a cloud, or a magneto, or a non-linear, whatever it is. I can now send and route independently. And not just that, they can be in series, in parallel, you can do left and right, right and left, you can mix and match however you want to create sort of reverb tones that, you know, really inspire you to play. And I just think that is awesome. It's got a bigger screen now, so you can see what you're doing a little bit better. There's more information that it needs to tell you what it's doing. Not only is this pedal way more powerful than the old one, but they've actually updated all the reverb algorithms as well. And they've swapped out a couple as well. So they've swapped out the swell reverb and I believe the reflections reverb. And now you've got chamber and you've got impulse. Now that's also very exciting because impulse means impulse response. And I don't mean a cab impulse response, I mean reverb impulse response. So you can create your own reverbs, import them into the pedal, and then edit them in the pedal. It comes stock with impulse responses inside that they've done, but you can make your own and load them on, which is insane. That is so cool. And again, there might be pedals that do that, but it's not a Strymon. So Strymon are doing that now, and I think that's really, really cool. I haven't personally tried to make my own reverb. I think it's not the most difficult thing to do in the world if you know what you're doing, but I haven't tried to do it myself. Either way, it comes with them in there, and that's really, really sick. So you can mess around with the ones loaded in. In terms of the functions on the front, you've still got all the same stuff. So you've got decay, pre-delay, mix, tone, parameter 1, parameter 2 and modulation, which is the same. It's laid out slightly differently. The MX is a slightly bigger pedal than the original BigSky, only just. One thing that's changed as well is now you have a dedicated infinite switch. So rather than it being A, B and C, you now have A and B and then infinite, which is dedicated. It's still the same way that you can, bank up and bank down with these switches. You also have left in, left out, right in, right out, so it's true stereo as before. It's got MIDI in and out, and it also has USB-C, which is nice because that's like modern. You can easily load presets on and off it with the new Nixie 2 desktop editor that they've got, I believe. In my opinion, they didn't need to update this pedal. I still think it stood up against tons of more modern recent reverbs and it still sounded incredible. But they have, and I'm not complaining. I think it's really, really cool. And I'm really happy that it's on my board. want to find out more of the really intricate details on these pedals, you can go to, there's plenty of YouTube channels that do it. I recommend checking out Strymon specifically because they'll walk you through what the pedal can do. But for me, I'm just here to play the kind of stuff I enjoy playing. I've got it rigged up with a stereo rig behind me, dual Kraken Mark II rig, and it's running the same setup I always have with my gig rig, controlling my BigSky MX now, Timeline, Mobius, Volante, got the expressions, bunch of fuzzes, all the rest of it. Throughout the video, you'll hear a bunch of different reverbs, whether it be hall, plate, chamber, spring. There's even, I'm going to mess around with, splitting the outputs and trying different stuff out of each one, just to see what kind of vibes I can get. I just want to have a vibey play with this brand new awesome pedal. So prepare yourself. It's not going to be the shortest video, but I'm guarantee it won't be the longest video, but there's going to be lots of guitar playing in this video and me just vibing out and having some fun. So I sincerely hope you enjoyed the tones in this video, and I will just say a huge thank you to Strymon for sending me this pedal, letting me check it out. I'm very excited. Okay, so there you go. There's some tones with the BigSky MX. I had a massive grin on my face when I unboxed this thing and started plugging it in and having a go. It's so good. Like I said, I didn't think they needed to update the BigSky. I would have happily just carried on using this pedal for foreseeable future, indefinitely. But the fact they have makes me really happy. It's on my board, it's not going anywhere. Like I said, it was a bit bittersweet having to replace this beautiful puppy with the new one, but I'm not losing out, I'm gaining. My opinion is, if you already own this pedal, I don't think it's absolutely 100% necessary to go and get the MX. If you're thinking about getting the BigSky, I would get the BigSky MX because it's updated, it's got newer features, it's got USB-C connectivity, it's got the dedicated outputs. It's really cool. It's got a bunch of new features that I think it now fits in the modern landscape. So if you haven't bought a BigSky or you were thinking about getting one, I would hold off on getting this BigSky unless you find one for a really good deal for cheap because people are selling them to get their BigSky MXs. But if you're not bothered about that and you just want to get a BigSky, I would recommend going with the new one. And I really, 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 really hope that they do MX versions of the Timeline and the Mobius, because although I like the fact that I can send dedicated reverb to each output, for me that's not as important as being able to send different delays to each output, or even better, different modulation machines from. If Mobius had dedicated outputs so I could do like chorus on one side, phaser on the other, that would be insane. I like the fact that they've done the MX, I like the fact they've done the BigSky, but I really would like to see that in the Timeline or the Mobius, especially the Mobius. I will absolutely be getting my hands on those if they do those. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tones. I'll put links in the description box to the BigSky MX, and I'll even put it in there for this. And I just want to say, again, huge thank you to Strymon, because as you probably have seen over the years, I've shouted about Strymon. I've done blindfold tests where I've picked Strymon. I 100% back Strymon as a brand all the way. And I love the fact that we've had this long-standing relationship now for like 10 years. And it's cool that they send me pedals to try out. And I just feel like it was the one early on brand that I really wanted to be friends with, you know, stood on the outside like, hey. And I am now, and I feel very fortunate to be in that position. So huge thank you to Strymon for making the best pedals, in my opinion, going. Links in the description box. Please like, subscribe and share. If you want to hear my music, it's in the description box. If you want to try out my merch, it's in the description box. Description box, I've been Rabea, description box, and I'll see you all very soon.